We just had a couple of hours drive and now we have landed here in Eidsfjord. And we're laying here in the bottom of the fjord and look at this amazing view we have here. We got the perfect pitch right down by the water and hopefully no one will lay in front of us. We are going to stay here for 2 days and we're going to do some hiking tomorrow and look at the area. We are staying here at Sæbø camping for 2 nights. And this campsite is really beautifully located here at Eidfjorden, right in the bottom of the fjord. It's wherever you are at the campsite, you have a beautiful view at the fjord and a beautiful view of the mountains, of course, as well. The campsite are divided into some separate areas. This campsite has different sections where you can stay with different kind of vehicles. The one we're staying in here, right down by the fjord, you can stay with light vehicles. You can stay with tents or you can stay with like camplets that we are staying with right now. There's no caravans or no RVs allowed here. There's an area where everything is allowed, and we have another area over here where only small units are allowed. That's like small car with a small tent or small car with tents. The campsite here is really back to basics. It doesn't have any fancy stuff. It has a really good playground though, but otherwise it doesn't have any fancy stuff. It's a little reception where you can buy the most necessary things like chocolate and alcohol-free beer and stuff like that. And there are bathing facilities and toilet facilities. The toilet facilities are sex divided, but the bathing facilities are for both sexes. But there are of course different cabins for everyone, so you don't have to stand next to another person directly when you take your shower. Otherwise, this campsite has this amazing location. That's what the most perfect thing to say about this. And of course, check this out. I had the fjord down here, I had the mountains, and it's close to everything here in the area. Today we're going to go for a hike to see this waterfall here, Vøringsfossen. And the waterfall is more than 180 meters long, tall, and has a free fall for about 145 meters. So it's really a big waterfall. It's one of the main tourist attractions here in Norway, so a lot of people hike and walk there to see it. It's a hike for about more or less 4 kilometers, so it's going to be a little long walk today. The first part of the trail to Vøringsfossen is on concrete. It's interesting to see if it continues like this. As you can see, the road is blocked several places here. A big rock has fallen down and a broken tree here. And so you have to be a little bit careful. I don't think it's dangerous, but if you hear rumbling sounds, I think you should start running. This is as far as you can go on the concrete road. As you can see, the road is closed here, and it's probably because there's been falling a lot of rocks down from the mountains here, so it's closed for now. But if you're going to want to see the waterfall, the foss, we're going to go this way down. And as you can see, it's a red hiking route, which means it's a little bit difficult to walk, but I'm looking forward to it. Nice to know. As you can see here, a lot of rocks is falling on the walking path here. So some places block and you have to almost climb to get through. But what an amazing view. Look at this. Sometimes it can be difficult to find the path where to walk. Because there's a lot of rocks here and a lot of rocks, I guess, falling all the time. But I have drawn these red arrows here and they point the direction you need to go. Now we're standing at a place called Fossastova, and here used to be a house. Two men built a house here, not very big, but a small house here, so they could accommodate 5 to 6 people, because the stream of tourists were increasing a lot. So they needed food and coffee on the way, so they served food and coffee, and 5, 6 people could sleep here. The house has now been moved to a town close by, and worked as a general store. And you can still see the foundation of the house. It used to be here. This is as far as we get. The waterfall is right behind me here. Usually you're able to walk out here, but the bridge is closed because it's insecure right now. So we don't get any further than this. But it's been a beautiful trip out here, a little bit rocky, but beautiful. And it's a beautiful view. When you're hiking, it's always a good idea to bring some food, because out here in the nature, there's no takeaway places or places you can buy coffee or food. And the one that was on this road has been torn down many years ago. So bring some food on your hike. Now the rocky part is over. It was really a nice walk, a little bit demanding, and you really need to have good shoes on. Otherwise, it's a really beautiful walk, but it's quite demanding some places. Now a 2-week wonderful trip in the camplet and the Kia XCEED around Norway is over. We are heading home now, but on the way home we're going to cross the Hardangervidda, which is a really, really beautiful national park. We're now standing on Hardangervidda, which is this really huge national park. There's a main road going over here, which is not that interesting. It's a beautiful view from the car, of course, but it's not that interesting. But there are some really small gravel roads like this one, where you can just drive off and look at this amazing nature here. When you look at the Norwegian nature, you see a big diversity. When you drive for like an hour away from here, the nature is completely different. And up here it's flat, but we're still on the top of a mountain. It's so impressive to see the nature in this country. Now we have reached home after driving almost 3,000 kilometers around Norway. We are now back in a home in Glostrup, Copenhagen, and we have had really a great trip. This camplet has been working perfectly. We've been staying 2 to 3 nights at every campsite and have really enjoyed ourselves and relaxed and seen a lot of beautiful things, beautiful nature and interesting things. The combination of the Kia XCEED plug-in hybrid car and the camplet has been really, really good. We have been driving 16.8 kilometers per liter, and that's really good considering we've been driving on highways and we've been driving in a lot of mountains. So this is a really good combination, and it gives you a good economy when driving. We have really had high living standards and high comfort in the camplet. We have been sleeping good at night because there's good mattresses and a lot of ventilation when you live in a camplet. You get kind of the tent feeling, but it's not a tent. You're still staying these, 30 centimeters above ground. So it's been really comfortable. And we've not been sleeping because we don't sleep all the time. It's been a good place for food, for cooking, and also enjoying ourselves and relaxing. And it has given us a lot of energy to go out the next day and have a lot of good experiences.